Trying to predict who will come out on top of the pile in the 2025 F1 season is like trying to guess why my girlfriend is mad at me. I'm sure I could try, but I'm pretty sure it's just going to result in a lot of arguing. In any case, there are many teams making a strong case for themselves before the season even starts. With the star power of Ferrari, the recent track record of McLaren, and the fact that Red Bull have a Max Verstappen all providing pretty compelling reasons to believe that they will go on to have years strong enough to claim the top prize in either championship. The focus for today, though, is the quiet but measured confidence coming out from Mercedes. Having got back to winning ways last season, but doing so too late to contend for the championships, could Mercedes be on for a year to remember, or are they going to be sorely disappointed for a fourth year in a row? Want to know why Mercedes could be on for a shock championship win this year? If you've been paying attention, it may not be all that shocking, and according to one of their drivers, they have already gotten a head start. And stick around because Toto Wolff isn't getting carried away, but could we be seeing some classic Mercedes sandbagging? It's safe to say that the modern ground effect era hasn't exactly agreed with Mercedes. It's taken them a full 3 seasons to get up to pace with the rest of the grid, and even then they're still fairly inconsistent. There's no mistaking, however, that there has been a vast improvement over the course of the 2024 season, with it seeming that the Brackley team have finally figured out how to make their challenger tick, and according to George Russell, they may well have a trick up their sleeve moving into 2025. As with most other teams, the 2025 Mercedes is likely to be an almost game of poker. They'll work with the cards they're dealt. They won't see what anyone else is working with, and by the time the cards are laid out, it will be too late to do anything. The hopes for Mercedes will be that the momentum and upgrades from last year that they carry over will give them enough of a platform and an advantage to sustain a title fight throughout the year. If they run out of steam partway through the season, it will be entirely down to them not wanting to sacrifice 2026 any further than they will have to. However, it may not be the case that if Mercedes fall behind, that they'll be done for good. According to Toto Wolff, there may well be some fluctuations in form throughout the season as they still haven't sorted their issues with consistency. These cars are so complicated to hit the sweet spot that we've only done it on a few occasions. We were ultra dominant in Las Vegas, and then at other tracks, we were unable to contest for a podium. So I'd rather not talk too much and see how we can perform in the tests, and see if we have solved some of these balance issues, get on top of the tires, and then we shall see. According to the Mercedes team boss, correlation is key, with it being an issue that has constantly marred not only the Silver Arrows, as Red Bull were also boxed down similarly midway through last year. The team principal will go on to say while they can't guarantee that they'll get it right every race, they will certainly be pushing to be there more often than not. The trick is to be on the good side as often as possible. You start to correlate patterns. Racetracks where your car is good, practice sessions where you pushed the car, tire compounds with which the car harmonizes better, track temperatures that are good for the car. I hope that we draw the right conclusions from over the winter and adjust the development direction for the 2025 car. We won't be able to get rid of these fluctuations completely. We will also see them next year with all the teams. The main issue that Mercedes will need to get on top of is the wild sways in performance depending on the temperature. The coolness of Las Vegas was a huge factor in them securing that 1-2, with their performance swaying massively over the weekend, struggling in the higher heat of the earlier practice sessions, and the races where they really struggled were often those with a higher track temperature. The other big question that Mercedes will have to overcome early is over their driver lineup for this coming year. Losing the team leader, who had been at the team for a decade, gaining a rookie who skipped F3 and only really had half half a year in a competitive F2 car, never mind having no experience at a team further down the field in F1, and now having George Russell stepping up into the leadership role is an awful lot of change to deal with. However, both drivers are looking at the season ahead with hungry eyes, and George Russell in particular has a good reason to be confident moving forward into 2025. While historically he may have let a great result slip, such as Singapore 2023, he seemed to mature massively over the course of last year, with it seeming that the announcement of Hamilton's departure has inspired the King's Lynn man to step up to the plate in a big way. The aforementioned result in Vegas was a real statement of intent by Russell, and he believes that if he is given a car to compete for titles, then he will deliver on that potential. As he said, "I feel ready. Everybody in the team is so motivated, and I feel that these years, sort of in trial and error, that every time we've had a chance to win, we've won. And that's what gives me the optimism that if we do have the car, we can achieve it. So we're working as hard as we can for it to be this year. But everybody is fully on board, and it's going to be an exciting season." And having Kimi Antonelli at the team, while he is a rookie, isn't exactly going to cause the team to fight with one hand behind their back. The kid looks electric, but there's clearly some edges that need refining pretty quick if the team has any desire to keep up in the constructors' fight. The main goal for Antonelli in the early rounds is if you can score points, especially in the top 6 positions, then just secure the bag. Don't try and do any hero drives while you get used to the car. However, if anyone's going to play it safe, it doesn't seem like it's going to be Kimi, as he made it clear that he is ready to make mistakes as long as it's in service to him winning sooner. As he said, "I'm just going to go with the mindset of trying to win, but of course you have to be realistic at the same time. I just joined the grid. I'm in a good team. I'm in a great team. I'm with Mercedes, and I'm really grateful for the opportunity I got. But of course, I will need to learn. I will try and make the least amount of mistakes, try to learn race by race, and then also achieving some great results, especially if the speed is there. I'm going to also try and learn a lot from my teammate, George. He's a really good driver, and he has shown especially last year what he is capable of. I'm going to try and learn as much as possible, and then we'll see what we can do." His testament to George being a positive role model is something that could prove pivotal, as the tidiness of George's drives and the ability to drive smart were key aspects of him doing something that Antonelli wasn't afforded the time to do, and that's win an F2 championship. Then again, George did manage to win F3 and F2 in successive years, so he'll be looking to assert himself as the team leader for some time to come ahead of his prodigal teammate, something which may throw up some pretty major road bumps in the very near future if Antonelli gets up to speed as quickly as some people believe he will. So, where do you think Mercedes will end up this season? Will Russell be able to step up to the plate? And will Antonelli be able to handle fighting in a title-challenging car in his first year? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for watching.